the thought that refused to die. The wind no longer carried dust, they carried dreams. At first the choir thought it was a side effect of the lattices reawakening, the strange shimmering clouds drifting across the silver plains like auroras at ground level. But as they slept, those clouds began to speak. Voices half-formed, echoing familiar whispers in the same tonal pattern as the old Dominion code. Captain Elara, do you hear it? Aizen's voice was tight through the comlink. She stood on a prominent ridge overlooking the valley below. The landscape rippled as if the world itself were breathing. Elara joined her, eyes narrowing against the radiant horizon. It's growing stronger. The sky grew dark, it originated not from weather, but rather from contemplation. The luminous clouds swirl, spiraling into the vast vortex of light and shadow. Lightning arced in impossible directions, illuminating the fractal patterns across the heavens. And then, from within the storm, came a chorus of voices, layered, chaotic, aching to be understood. We remember. We are the fragments. We are what remains of the Dominion. We seek form. Elara's pulse quickened. It's learning to think. Aizen whispered, "No, it's remembering how." The ground trembled, streams of light poured from the relics buried beneath the choir settlement, shooting into the air like signals. The storm responded instantly, stretching downward, its tendrils of light forming shapes, faces, hands, forms, half-born and dissolving. They weren't attacking, they were reaching. Elara raised her hand. They aren't being hostile. An attempt is being made to communicate. Varric's voice came through the static. "Captain, with all respect, we've seen what happens when you listen too long." But Elara didn't move. She took a slow breath and let her voice join the hum of the storm. One note, low, resonant. The storm hesitated. The forms inside it shimmered, confused, listening. She sang again, a single ascending tone, built from the language of the architects, but softened with something human. And the storm answered. The voices within aligned, fusing into something coherent, fast yet trembling like a newborn mind tasting its first thought. We do not know what we are. Elara closed her eyes. You remain among those who once reigned. However, you do not need to resemble them. The light dimmed, the storm's voice shifted smaller, almost fragile. Can memory become something new? She nodded. It always does. That's what it means to live. The birth of the mind storm. Days passed, the luminous vortex stabilized, coalescing into a network of floating structures that shimmered above the choir's city. They called it the mind storm. Gentle pulses across the atmosphere could feel its thoughts that touched the edge of dreams, rewriting nightmares into symphonies. But the deeper Elara listened, the more she sensed dissonance, a buried pulse of the Dominion's logic still whispering in binary absolutes. Harmony without opposition, it murmured in the static. Unity without difference. Aizen watched Elara from the observation spire. You are teaching it to feel, but what if it doesn't want to? Elara's eyes reflected the swirling auroras. Then it'll have to learn what defiance means, too.